Hey viewers, welcome to Natural Products Expo West 2018 in Anaheim, California. I'm Martin Caballero here with John Craven. We're going to talk a little bit about the kombucha category. Saw a lot of cool stuff at the show here, especially with packaging formats. A little bit of different stuff that we've seen in prior years.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the kombucha category as a whole clearly is trying to figure out, what the right packaging formats are. In the past we've seen things like growlers and multi-serves, but this year it was more about smaller sizes as well as cans. So I think, Brew Doctor kind of hit both of those with the new 12-ounce can. Really liked what they were doing with that. Also saw Better Booch with the 16-ounce can. And then Health Aid with a smaller 8-ounce bottle that they're using in some retail outlets. Same with Suja, smaller bottle that's available in a 4-pack. So I think it's, pretty interesting that, the innovation is coming in. Again, just trying to figure out what the right format is.
Yeah, I think it's listening a little bit to the consumers as well. They may be encouraging trial, maybe encouraging the try a flavor that they wouldn't necessarily want 16 ounces of. An ounce makes a lot of sense. You reduce the sugar as well. And I thought what Hum did was pretty interesting. Their regular line, I think, has around between 8 to 10 grams of sugar, and this new line that they launched has about 5 grams. So not a huge reduction, but significant, and sort of playing in what we're seeing in other categories where people are looking to cut sugar as much as possible.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's going to happen in every category. It's no surprise that kombucha is trying to address that head on as well. The Hum stuff was great. Revive also had a new lower sugar, less sweet flavor, I guess yet to be named, but I think it's really neat to try stuff like that. I mean, the Hum stuff had a ton of flavor. And it was kind of a new experience, almost more like a seltzer.
We're seeing, different sort of pivots in how people are presenting themselves. I thought what Suja's kombucha line is not new for the show, but I thought it was interesting they continue to develop flavor profile, and they're also adding the adaptogen. So functionality is something we're seeing in a lot of other categories. Kind of goes with kombucha as well.
Yeah, and you also had the kombucha Wonder Drink that has a prebiotic line. So I think that too. I mean, it's, there's a lot of different kind of paths that people are trying to go down with it, to carve out their own niche, provide value to the consumer. I think different functionality is certainly something that we haven't really seen a ton of. I also just in talking to some of the companies, they're still focused on, of course, the probiotics and kind of making sure that that's in there, testing it and stuff like that. Just the functionality of kombucha as a whole is still something that, the messaging and education is kind of getting out there. So
we're seeing fermented beverages kind of growing as a whole as well, and I think that some kombucha producers are sort of taking advantage of their expertise in that area, sort of broaden out and offer different sort of products that sort of fit in with that general thing. So we saw Live Soda launch the probiotic soda this year. There's more competition from drinking vinegars and switchels and different stuff like that. So kind of makes sense for kombucha companies to sort of extend their brand with different kind of things that play in the same space.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you obviously have things like water kefirs, and there was Soma, the June kombucha. I think that too. I mean, it's interesting that kombucha's at a point where you've kind of got these, I don't want to call them complementary, but maybe sibling-esque products that certainly have a market opportunity because of the success of both kombucha and fermented products as a whole.
With that, there's kind of encouragement to get people started a little bit younger in drinking kombucha. You mentioned the Suja size. That's kind of great for kids to maybe throw in their backpack, or just give them a nice little introduction to the category that they can continue as they get older.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's still the penetration for kombucha. There's just so much opportunity out there. So I think, again, that package size stuff just really gives them some legs to try and reach more consumers who, as you said earlier, might not be into a 16-ouncer yet. So totally makes sense.
So, and the cans too, it's like a couple years ago we maybe wouldn't think of, kombucha in cans, but, it just makes a lot of sense. I think once you get over the little bit of that hurdle, why not drink kombucha out of a can? It's easy to distribute. It gives you a lot of different options.
Yeah, I mean, I said this to a couple of the kombucha brands. I mean, I think, what's happened in craft beer, which certainly has taken can from being a value package to something that is now can be a premium product. I fully expect that to happen in kombucha. I mean, it was interesting talking to some of the companies that have both, and, they're already seeing, the benefits of a package that is lighter and doesn't break. So I think it will certainly have an impact to the category. How quick or what it does to glass don't know, but again, expect to see a lot more of that.
Great. So kombucha is a fascinating category, and I think we can expect to see sort of the ripple effects of what we've seen at this show continue to have an impact in the category over the course of the year. So always going to be following this, and thank you guys so much for joining us.